we're going to kick off today's webinar. Of course, it's brought to you by Digital Main Street, as all of our webinars. My name is Ben Frisch with the local Digital Service Squad. We're joined today by Amy Kells, Karen Gibson, and Rochelle Reynolds from our team. And we are talking about SEOptimer and lots of other free tools for your digital marketing and search engine optimization. And, you know, with any of these as well, we definitely recommend you look into and do research before signing up for any of these tools. But these are tools that we've used and have used for a long time and find very helpful. And we're going to walk you through how they can help you with your marketing. And of course, should also mention that the Digital Main Street program is brought to you by the Ontario Government, Ontario BIA Association, and the Toronto Association of BIAs. And locally, we're managed here in South Georgian Bay by the South Georgian Bay Small Business Enterprise Center, and in Grey County by the Enterprise Center of Grey County. And your Digital Service Squad is available for free consultation and support, whatever you need. We're going to put our booking calendar link in the chat. And as we go along as well, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those into the chat or the Q&A, and we will answer them as we go. So with that out of the way, I'm going to hand off to Amy, who does not have a buzzing microphone that we can take you through today's webinar. Take it away, Amy.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, welcome everybody, and thanks for joining us today on this lovely rainy day. Hopefully the weather will be clearing up soon enough. So yeah, welcome today. This is about SEOptimer and other free tools that we're going to be discussing today. And as you all have your websites and you want to try to figure out if it's working and what may be missing, these are great tools that you can plug into and figure that out. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to be sharing my screen and bringing you into these tools so we can do a walkthrough. So basically, we're going to get into these tools that we use, and we'll be talking about that at the end, how we use these tools, the Digital Service Squad, and how we can help you out with that if you do need some help with these tools to go through them. I'm going to put this in the link. You're going to see that I'm sharing a lot of these links that I have here. This is a link to the webinar we did a couple weeks ago, which was basically about SEO, search engine optimization, if you wanted to learn more about that, but we're just going to get right into it today. As to what you need to do, what tools we can use to make sure your website's performing the way you want it to. So the first one is the SEOptimer, and we'll go right to it because we have it open. So our company for today, so since we can't, we decided to choose one company to kind of look things up. So we decided to go with Canadian Tire. We realized that, yes, they are a big company, but it's just, something that's a little bit more generic. So we don't, bring up information about like a business in town, or we just got to keep it generic. So let's go into that. Okay, so we have basically you're going to come into the SEOptimer. Let me go back here. And this is the link to the SEOptimer, so you can use it to open up. To enter your own website onto.
And yeah, if I might just right off the top as well, add that the main reason why we want to share this is because we know that SEO, search engine optimization, is such a big, daunting, sort of overwhelming kind of aspect of any kind of online presence. And what we love a lot about this audit report, and there are other audit reports out there. What we like about this one is just how it puts everything into pretty simple language. It categorizes things in a way that's a lot more easy to not only understand and to follow along with, but then also to start tackling. It gives these very clear action items like these are the things that you need to do to make improvements.
Oh,
And so that's really the reason why we want to walk you through the sort of the benefits of this report and how to understand it so that you can actually use it to your advantage um, and just kind of gain a much better understanding of your own SEO performance. Like Amy shared, the previous webinar, we tend to talk more about sort of the theory of search engine optimization, what it is comprised of, what it means. But here's where we want to actually put some action into place. Take action to make improvements and understand exactly, like how do we do this? So let's take a look at Canadian Tire and their SEOptimer score here.
And the other thing is that the other thing I wanted to mention is that if anybody has any questions, obviously there's a question answer, or you can just put it right in the chat if you have anything that you have questions about that we can help you out with. So once you do get into the SEOptimer, once you get into the website, it'll ask you to put in your URL. You hit enter, and then you come up with this. This is, as you already know, it's a free tool. But one thing to remember is that you can only use it, I believe, it's a 24-hour. To get the free tool, you can only use it basically once a day. So we were kind of keeping our fingers crossed and making sure that we could get on this today, and it let us in. But it gave us, as you can see at the top here, you have definitely, we've used up what we can for the free plan. So something to think about. All right, so let's get into it. So basically it shows you here, it's just like a school, alphabetical rating, basically how they're doing, shows the website here. And down here, it's going to tell you exactly what it is, where you're doing well and where you're not. And it breaks it down, obviously, per each category. So yeah, and then it shows you here just like just a chart to show you exactly how it is you're doing. Again, just reiterating what is said here. So when we get back into it, the first thing is recommendations. These are sorry, let me go back up. I'm all over the place. So it says 13 recommendations up here. Your page could be better. And coming down here, we're going to take a look at this. And so just as Ben already said, it breaks it down really quite nicely as to what it is. And in its understandable language, we also have another one that we use. It's called the Page Insights. And it kind of gives you more of talks about JavaScript and that. I will show that to you a little bit later on if we have time. But this one basically categorizes things that are fixable and are understandable, which is, that the header, the H1 header tag, it's a medium priority. It's letting you know, and you can also go into these are the other categories, obviously, that we talked about at the top there, and then reduce the length of the title tag 10 to 70 characters. I believe we can tap on this. Was it here that no, it's down below. We'll go down there and take a look at that. And then of course it goes through the rest. So everything else is like a low priority. Obviously if it was something that was a high priority, it would be in red. So so that you can just take a look at these. Obviously these are going to be different for your website, which you're going to see, but you can tell that they break it down into a little bit more understandable jargon compared to what you'll see in the Page Insights. And then the other thing you want to look at is as you go down, there's things here like they talk about add Twitter cards, create and link an associated LinkedIn profile. These are things that, obviously you take into consideration for your own website and what it is that compare yourself. You don't compare yourself obviously to a large corporation like Canadian Tire, but you can what works for your business and what it is that you're achieving that you want to have for your website. So here's where we get into the on-page, the SEO results. So again, this one's saying, this is what we talked about at the top there, one of the 13 recommendations, and this is one of them. And you can see it tells you, it writes it like basically tells you exactly what it wants you to do. Your length is 81 for the title tag, and you have a title tag, but ideally it should be shortened to between 10 to 70 characters, including spaces. So that's something that is very easily fixed, that can be fixed, and again, understandable. So, so yeah, as you go down, it just gives you recommendations as to what will work for your website. And yeah, is there anything you wanted to add in here, Ben, for this?
Yeah, I mean, I like just um, from a peace of mind standpoint, one of the things I liked about doing this report on like a big national retailer, right, is the comfort in knowing that we all have the same struggles, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
right? I mean, we see their title tag is too long. Um, there's like a lot of like little simple things here um, that remind us that it's it's a big job, even for like a like I said, a big national retailer. And yes, their website is massive, so they obviously have a lot more uh, work to do there. But you run your report on your website, and you're probably going to see a lot of the same issues. And uh, like we said at the top, like it's trying to put it all into really simple language, and a lot of these things are quite simple to fix. You know, you can even just share this report with your web developer, for example, if it is too technical, and hand that off hopefully. But essentially, it's yeah, just to me, it's really straightforward, and I can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so just keep going down and take a look at everything. As I said, it just goes over, it talked about the H1 header tag. It gives you information about that. Keyword frequency. So this is where we wanted to talk about, obviously, these are the keywords that you're using in their website, and basically like how they're through search engine optimization, how they're coming up and what's working there. So yeah, as you can see, like this, first of all, talks about keywords, individual keywords, and then we get into the phrases that are coming up. So we found that really interesting when we were going through about Canadian Tire, the Canadian Tire obviously being the first, and then I think we were looking at Canadian Tire Money. But yeah, this basically tells you keyword consistency. Your page's main keywords are not distributed well across the important HTML tags. Your page content should be focused around particular keywords you would like to rank for. So yeah, it's just something to take a look at as we go down further about this. Let me just think. Oh yeah, here we go. This is where I wanted to really take a look at. Is this the rankings? So top keyword rankings. This shows your top keyword rankings in this specific location. The list ordered by keywords that drive the most traffic to your page. So this is where we've got it. If you're looking at this, this is French and then this is English. It's because it's twice. So it's incredible the amount of traffic that they're getting. And with this, we were talking about wanted to bring up another free tool that you can use, and that is called the Google's sorry, hold on. Oh, there we go. Google Search Console. So basically, if you're looking at those words, you want to make, or those keywords, you want to make sure that they are the ones that you have in your on your website. So you can come back into this. Google Search Console is something that you can sign in for, and it can show you information about your website. Unfortunately, this is all I can show you with this. I can't go in and do a live just because not like the GA4 or the Google Analytics, they give you kind of an example of you can go through one of their demo accounts. This one I cannot. They don't have a demo account for this, Google. So this is basically where you would go to. You set up your Google Search Console. and it is linked to your website. You come into this, it shows you, information. This is saying the last 3 months. That's basically, I believe that is where when you sign in, that's where it takes you for the last 3 months. And then you go into what's called, there's different categories with the Google Search Console. This is under performance, where you'd find your keywords in your top queries, and then pages, countries, devices, search appearance, and dates. So this is exactly what it is that you're going to be looking at. Again, if you have any issues with signing into these, just let us know, and we can take a look at it with you and walk you through it as well. Yeah, did you have anything to add about that, Ben?
Yeah, so I think so. What the way this kind of all relates together, right, is that the SEOptimer report is showing us the keywords that are actually on the page of our website and the amount of frequency in which they appear, right? So in the sort of our theoretical SEO training, or if you know anything about search engine optimization, it has a lot to do with starting with at least frequency. Adding those keywords with frequency on the page itself, so that Google can sort of categorize, okay, this is what your page is about, and then Google Search Console, what that's telling us is how many impressions we are getting for people who are searching for those keywords. But they're not necessarily linked either, right? Because what we see in the SEOptimer report, again, is just what's on your page. And what we see in Search Console is what Google is actually serving up based on searches. So what you want to do is compare the two and see, okay, on your SEOptimer report, what are those keywords that are, showing up with frequency? Sometimes there's things there that you just don't expect. You maybe wrote this content and weren't necessarily thinking about the keywords, and so there's things there that you didn't expect, weren't thinking about, and then there's maybe things that are not on there that should be there, right? Like, I think the best example is your brand name. So Canadian Tire was at the top, right, Amy, within their SEO report, or even with the frequency, if you go up, Canadian Tire, yes, is the number one keyword phrase. Because the thing about keywords, individual keywords, they tend to get a little obscure because they're just single words. But what I find more valuable is the keyword phrases. So let's say, for example, we didn't see Canadian Tire as their number one keyword phrase. That would be a problem. We would want to add their own brand name in with more frequency on that page, so that that's kind of our main keyword. And then what we want to do is look at our Search Console to see, are people who are searching for Canadian Tire, of the number of impressions that page is getting, are we getting clicks? Are we getting lots of clicks for that? And what's cool about this report too is, like Amy was showing, the ranking. It'll actually show you what position you're showing up for with those keywords. So it's kind of this circular, back and forth bit of reporting to do to look at your on-page content versus the performance of that content, and make sure that things jive, and the keywords that you want to rank for are used in frequency, and then on the flip side, they are actually getting a response and getting clicks. That was a lot, but
Yeah.
I hope that...
No, it's good. So we need, yeah. All right, so moving right along, we are going to, let me just see where we're at. We're going to jump around a little bit here. So basically this talks about, we get into links, backlinks, and they don't have a lot here. So I'm going to jump into our backlink report, or do you want me to wait till the end? It doesn't matter, either or.
Well, yeah, one thing to mention about this, I believe it seems like the one downside of this free SEOptimer report, they tend to, I think you have to pay to get the links section of the report. I've never seen a report for one of the free accounts that had a good link
Right.
score. But because when we actually look at the Ahrefs links for Canadian Tire, I would think they would score better than an F, like much better.
Yeah. Do you want to take a look at the back? Should we take a look at backlinks, or do you want to just get through this? We'll go through that.
Yeah, why don't we talk? Yeah, why don't we head on over to talk about links?
Okay. All right. So this is the other. Let me just give you the. This is Hrefs, which is a company that is basically one of the best for SEO metrics and data. And this is one of the free tools that they offer. There's two of them. We're going to do this one, and then we'll do the free broken link checker as well. So I'm just going to pop in here quickly. Okay, so this basically tells you the domain rating for your website. So this is Canadian Tire ranking at 82 for their domain rating. And this is something that when you go in and do it for your own business, you'll probably find that's a little bit lower. And that's nothing to worry about because of the fact that based on, this is a huge company across Canada, obviously. And so it's going to rank a little bit higher. So when you go into look at yours, if it's rating lower, that's okay. If you are concerned about it or you want to see, you could do a comparison with another business that's comparable to your own, and just see where you are in comparison with that business. And as long as you see that you're higher or in comparison with them, then you're doing great. So it's just something to consider. We just want to show you, obviously, just an example. So yeah, so basically it says the domain rating is the strength of your target backlinks profile compared to the other websites in our database of 100-point logarithm scale. Anyway, so yeah, so that's a good domain rating. And then this talks about the backlinks. So what is being linked back to Canadian Tire, and they have quite a few. And then the linking websites is the one that's like, it's a unique URL, which is basically saying that the example is like if they had YouTube and there was YouTube is a unique visitor, so that would just be counted as one linking to Canadian Tire. So yeah, so this just goes through, obviously Link, Sports Check and Mark's Warehouse are connected to Canadian Tire. They're through the same business. And it's saying here what the domain rating is for these individual the backlinks. So there's quite a few here. So it's great to have these just to be linked to other companies. It's great for your SEO, to have if you're just a company that you are associated with another company within town, or you want somebody you're doing a blog and you have a guest say or talking about a blog and they link their website with yours. This is a great way to create these backlinks. Anything else you want to add, Ben?
Yeah, just that as you said, I mean, the domain rating, don't get caught up on it. Definitely the number you want to focus on is certainly the backlinks number, that one right in the middle. They have 2.8 million backlinks those are links pointing into their website from other sites. That's pretty impressive. So that's what certainly, influences Google a lot of times when they're serving up Canadian Tire's website. They can see that a lot of people are pointing to them. It gives them more clout, if you will, and just improves their SEO overall. So when you run this report, yeah, definitely just focus on that backlinks number, and you want to get it up, as high as you can. I think we sort of decided, as per our digital audit report, that for a small, medium-sized business, like we sort of put the benchmark around 30 to 40 links at least, right? Saying if you don't have 30 to 40 links, then you want to try and focus on some link building strategies to try and get those up higher. Of course, there's the sky's the limit, as you can see. 2.8 million is far distance from 30 or 40, but we got to start somewhere. And so yeah, if anyone wants to talk about link building strategies, that's a whole other conversation. Ways to get those links pointing into your website, but that's a great reason for a consult with the digital service.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm going to get out of this. We'll go back to our SEOptimer here report. Then we're going through their just usability, just comparing it to different devices that people are going to be looking their website up on. We get into all the Google loading. So this is really important information. How fast is your website loading? And because obviously people are not going to be wanting to wait around, as you know, unless you have something else to do. You don't want to sit there and wait for a website to load. So this is a really important part to find out where it is and how fast your website is loading. So basically, as Ben mentioned, we do a digital audit, which is a free report for you if you're signed up into the grant program, either the Digital Main Street grant. And so we talk about this as in, we talk about mostly just about the speed index here. So this is saying, this is interesting actually. Oh, this is talking about mobile here. Okay, so this is saying that it is actually slow. It's red. It's 10.4 seconds to load onto mobile, which is a little bit slow, a lot slow anyway, but that's something they can look into. And then obviously this is the desktop here where it says speed index. It's loading in 2.9 seconds. So they have a lot of information on their website, which you're aware of. And that's why those speeds may be slower, but I mean 2.9. Oh, I have something in the chat here. What's a benchmark for load time? We usually say no more than 2.5 seconds is a good load time. Yeah. But we can talk about that if you're interested. We can definitely look at the digital audit and find out what or you can go on yourself. Obviously, I've given you this information. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say too, that's exactly right. Like, Google's benchmark is 2.5 seconds, which is pretty high. Like that's a tough benchmark to hit. We run hundreds of audits on local businesses and do a speed test, and very rarely do we see anyone who's performing faster than 2.5 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
But there is also mobile and right. So
that's desktop.
Right.
Sorry.
Well, and but the mobile speed test is I think also 2.5 seconds benchmark.
Okay. Yeah, because and you want to take a look at that when I'm going to show it in Page Insights as well, but you want to take a look at what it is. It's going to let you know what it is that's causing you to have the slower speeds. Like, is it size of your pictures? Is it video? Things like that are making it slower for your website to load. So basically, this information here is first contentful. Is just basically these are both just talking about when the person first starts loading your website, how fast the first visual would come on, and then the largest was when it fully uploads, which is kind of comparable to the speed index, but it's technical. And but yeah, blocking time is basically if people are doing things like being on their keyboard tapping, using their mouse, and things are stopping it. The other thing interesting is, which I found really interesting, is this cumulative layout shift, which is basically, this is like an example is you go on a website and you're about to click something, and then all of a sudden everything shifts and you wind up clicking on the wrong thing. So this is basically tells you how often that's happening, like what's going on there, like is it something that is, and obviously they put it in red saying that something to be aware of. So
That's like my biggest pet peeve.
I know, me too. It happens all the time. It's like you're just
Yeah.
you almost have to just be patient and wait. Oh, obviously you have to be patient for that 2.9 second speed to come up, and then you're like,
I guess
okay.
that's the takeaway, is that we're just very impatient people.
That's correct. You know what? I find that it's just like if you have the time to just walk away and wait for it to load. I guess it depends on the situation and what you're doing, right? But yeah, we don't have a lot of patience for things, and that's okay. Like everybody's in a rush; they got things to do. So yeah, so this is basically saying again what I've already what was going on up there, saying that it is an A+. Good job, Canadian Tire. You have a everything looks like it's going well for you. So take a look at these things, take a look at the page speed, and yeah, anything else that let me just scroll down here. So they're talking about their Facebook, so that's good. You can take a look at that. Obviously you want to make sure that your social is linked and everything is going good there. Saying it's giving it an A-. Obviously they have Twitter. So this is a really great rounded report, basically saying, when you, as we said, you can use it like if you wanted to, check your website once a month, maybe just to see how you're doing, and see if anything has changed. Because especially with things like, which we're going to get into, I'll talk about that next. Broken links are basically, so you have those 404s, let's just put it that way. So you have, let's just bring this up. You have a website, you're linked with someone, or you have, information you want to give to someone. They go to bring it up on your website and it's a 404. So basically saying that it no longer is linked. So the majority of broken links are, I'd say for small businesses are zero. That's what you want to get to. This Canadian Tire is a huge company, so obviously there's going to be people that maybe they don't even know that are, that are broken links. So they obviously have 335 links that are broken. So you want to make sure that's the most important thing. You want to make sure that if people are going to your website, that once they get there and they click on something like your blog or a video or anything, you want to make sure that they're having a great experience and that they're not hitting these 404s, or it's no longer available. It comes up, it's no longer available. So it's something that you really need to make sure, to check and make sure that your website is performing well, and that people are not, people are staying on there and they're enjoying the content, and hopefully if that does happen and you don't notice it, that they let you know. But yeah, it's really important. And those also, having broken links can also lead to, drop off rates. So if you are doing your Google Analytics, we'll talk about that. We can talk about the GA4, which is coming up. Anyway, that's another topic. So you can look at your Google Analytics and notice, wow, people are they seem to be dropping off at this part or this page, which you can look at pages and screens, and then you can say to yourself, well, I wonder if something is going on my website. So that's a great way to take a look and link that back to Google Analytics. Anything else you wanted to add to that, Ben?
Yeah, I wanted to say too, so one of the good things about this report is that we can see both the outbound links, so just under the 335, we see the outbound links, so that's links that you have going out, and then broken inbound links. And those are the links Amy was talking about, people pointing into your website. And I would say probably, don't be discouraged too, because like if you do have some broken links, I find a lot of retailers, if they're turning over, seasonal products, or things, um, new products, they're often just like getting rid of old products that don't exist anymore. Therefore, if someone had created a link into that product page that is not applicable, doesn't work anymore, then you're going to have those broken links. So the way to fix those is with a redirect. And so there's a lot of different ways to approach that. Like, so if you have a Shopify website, for example, they have a redirect built right in. So you can just tell it, anyone who, you could use this report, right? You can say, okay, that link right there, if you copy it out and tell Shopify, anyone who's coming for this exact link, send them to here instead, and you want to think about like, if it's, I don't know, if it's a kayak that doesn't exist anymore, maybe you send them to a page full of kayaks to say, like, that product doesn't exist anymore, but here's something that may be of interest to you. You don't want to just like send them to your homepage, because then that just kind of ruins the experience. You want to really try and make it still very user friendly by delivering them something that they might still be looking for.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, great. All right, I think we are looked at this pretty extensively. Taking a look at all this. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about was just quickly is something that if you're interested in looking up your keywords and things that are if you're interested, you're still thinking about what kind of keywords you want to have include on your website. This is great. Google Keyword Planner is basically, it's set up to use for Google Ads, but it is a free tool that you can use. And you would basically put in your what it is that you do. See, it says just here like leather boots. I think, what did I do? I did men's boots. So you just put in men's boots, or you can put in a website and hit get results, and it basically will show you here what words and how they're doing, basically average monthly searches. So it's definitely a great report that you can take a look at to get some insights, get some as to what other words or ideas that you may want to use depending on what your website is. And again, you can put that into the keyword planner, your website, and it can come up with some ideas as well, some other keywords if you want to take a look at that. So I'm going to, I don't think I put in these ones, we'll see if I can copy that, and I'll put these in the chat.
Oh, while you're doing that, Amy,
yeah,
I just wanted to mention that for keyword planning ideas. So just taking a step back there as well, like the idea is that, again, when we look at like the report of what keywords we're using on our website, we have to ask ourselves, like, is there anything missing? Like, are there certain keywords that we should be going after? And so that exercise of putting in Google keyword search tool, keyword planning tool, excuse me, is that we just get some more ideas, other keywords that we might not be thinking about that we should try to rank for. And we've also started to use ChatGPT or other AI tools for keyword suggestions. Just as a quick plug, we're doing next week a webinar on using AI for your marketing. So I won't get into it now here, but be sure to register for that webinar. I think it's going to be really cool as well. And we will get into more depth as to how we're using AI tools more and more for these types of, especially SEO tactics.
I'm going to show you one more, which is the other tool that we use, which is our page speed insights. I'll get on this. This will be really quick, just so you have it, and I'll put it in the link as well. This is a free tool. It's available through Google as well. As I said, I'll put the link in for you. So this is basically, it gives it the same kind of breakdown. Just gives it a little bit more. It's a little bit more complicated than the SEOptimer report, but it's just something else you can take a look at it. So it gives you mobile and desktop. Makes it color coded. Green is good, obviously. Orange is to be worked on, and then red is something of concern. Just thinking about it for a minute there. That gives you more of a breakdown. But again, it's going to talk about. I'm sorry, it's going to take its time. This basically is the one where it talks more about JavaScript and things like that. It gets a little bit more technical compared to the SEOptimer report. Just give me a second, see if I can. Oh, there we go. So yeah, so this one breaks it. Were you going to say something? Sorry. No? Okay. So yeah. So basically just drops it down. It tells you, let's go into desktop instead. Basically. Yeah. So there you go. So it gives you your overall, your SEO best practices, accessibility, performance. Accessibility is a really good one. Just quickly, sorry, this is already what we've already talked about. It shows you exactly what the speed index is saying here. It's 2.2. The blocking time, this is milliseconds, and then a cumulative shift. It's no issues there on this one. And then this is showing you basically the load time here. So this is actually, I find really interesting. You can click on view tree map and it'll show you exactly the loading and how it breaks it down. And then see the first thing right off the top. So opportunities here, reduce unused JavaScript. Okay. So if you have a web, someone who works on your website, this is a great place for them to take a look for the more technical terms. But accessibility is also something you want to take a look at. This is something that you want to, again, this is very technical. As you can see, it's terminology that we don't use, but accessibility is something you need to think about. Make sure that your colors are on your website are accessible for everyone, and that everyone can read them. So something that you look at. So yeah, basically that's the same report, just way more technical than the other one. So I'll put that in the link as well.
Yeah. As someone who's slightly colorblind, I am
yeah, exactly.
Very glad to see that they're on the lookout for problematic color combinations.
For sure. So to wrap it up, we wanted to talk about, as part of with the Digital Service Squad, we are a free service. You have the link in the notes there. Thank you, Ben. So set up a meeting with us if you want. We do have, this is the I have the link here for to sign into Digital Main Street to look at the grants. But the digital audit basically goes over everything: your website, social media, anywhere your business lives online. So and these reports, we put in those reports, and then once we have this, we finish it, send it off to you. It's something that we can go over together. So register for the program, and we can do this for you. So if you wanted to take a look at this together. So yeah. Anything else you wanted to add, Ben? Did I miss anything? Or anybody have any questions?
Yeah, any questions?
I just received a digital boost your business, the digital boost your business grant, and want to improve my SEO on my website. This is something I can hire you for. I already had an audit done. I just need someone to go through, make the changes. So yeah, that's something that we can as we have done the audit for you. That's something that we can do. However, if you want to hire someone to do that, we do have a list of vendors that are on the Digital Main Street website, and you can access that and take a look at that for someone to help you with your SEO. For sure. You're welcome. Yeah, and I can, just take a look go to Digital Main Street, and then they have a vendors page, which can show you the people who are in our area or in your area. So they can take a look at that for you, and we can, yeah. yeah, other than that, yeah, questions. Any more questions? So have fun with these. These are fun reports. I mean, it's interesting to see how your website is performing, because you really want to know exactly what's going on with it. And yeah, this is something that you can take a look at once a month, and make changes to, and if you're able to, and just know what's going on with it. So yeah.
Yeah, even once a week. One cool thing too is you can download that SEOptimer report as a PDF. So that way, then you sort of keep a record of what was your score when you started, and then as you start to kind of hopefully make those improvements, tick those things off, um, you'll start to see that score climbing. Um, and one other thing I wanted to mention too, with that page speed insights. So if you have a WordPress website, which many businesses do, we there is a plugin from Google called Google Site Kit that will instantly connect like your analytics, your search console, your uh, page speed insights, among other Google tools. But so one cool thing about connecting that plugin directly with page speed insights into your website, you get the same report that Amy was showing, but you tend to get, I find, a little more specific detail, because it's like it's not just analyzing your website from the outside, it's analyzing it like directly from inside of the website. So you get a little bit more feedback, more specific feedback that can help you to improve the performance of your website.
Mm. I have a question here. How often do you suggest we look at analytics, which you mentioned for this, maybe once a week for your website? But it also depends if you're talking about analytics, like your Google Analytics. It depends on what you're doing. If you are doing something, a promotion, it's always good to look at that again weekly, and make sure that it's doing what you want it to do, and you're getting results from that. So it's nice to have those reports, take a look at them, and make sure what you're doing, and then you can tweak whatever it is if you need to make changes to it. Are there any other questions? And Ahrefs, and we were talking about this yesterday. SEMrush is also another one. Those you can pay for them, and they do give very good reports. So those are options, but the free report is also, it gives you some pretty good insight to just start with.
Who doesn't love free, right?
That's right. Yeah. So this is us, the Digital Main Street Service Squad. And we, as we already mentioned, we do offer support. We book, our consultations are free. The other thing I wanted to mention too is that we offer 360 photos, and they are free. We can come to your business, we can do interior photos, we can also do exterior photos, and we can upload them to your Google Business profile, which is amazing for your SEO, which is what we're talking about today. So think of that. So when you go to the Get Digital Support as Me, there's a link there that will take you to book a 360 photo with us. And then we can talk more about your business too while we're there.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Amy. It looks like we're
thank you guys. Thank you, Ben.
Questions. And thanks for everyone for joining us. And
thank you, everyone.
Like I said, next week we've got one, marketing with AI, so be sure to check that out. We've released we're working on a full schedule for the rest of the summer or spring to early summer. So be on the lookout for more free webinars from your local digital service squad, and be sure to connect with us anytime. That's it. Have a good rest of your day. Great rest of your week,
Enjoy
everyone.
your day, everybody. Thank you again.
Bye.